and welcome to this episode of Performance Cafe. So, we've been talking a lot about the book Rehumanizing Leadership, and fabulous book. I still want to dig deeper into it one day. But something got me thinking about work. And so, what actually happened was, I have a talk that I do. It's called TGI Monday 3 Ways to Take Mondays from Manic to Magic. And the idea there is that, why are Mondays bad? It's actually nothing more than a cultural norm. But then I went and I dug a bit deeper and I went, hold on, but where does this cultural norm come from? When did we stop liking Mondays? And by extension, when did we stop liking work? And it was so interesting because actually, I think work is the new F bomb, or would that be the W bomb? I'm not quite sure. And I went and I looked to see where does this really originate from? In a book called The Heart of Business, Leadership Principles for the Next Era of Capitalism by Hubert Joly and Caroline Lambert, we come to basically the heart of the matter, sorry for the pun, and they give a couple of examples of why we shackle to this concept of work as punishment. And one of the earliest examples is from Greek antiquity, where Zeus punished Sisyphus, the king of the Corinthians, to an eternity of rolling a huge boulder up a mountain the whole time. That's all he had to do. And he was going to do this, as I said, for eternity, right? So in essence, Zeus punished Sisyphus with hard labor. Don't think that set, did anything for work's reputation. If we then take a look from a different perspective, Christianity gave us Adam, Eve, and the apple. And the outcome of that was that Adam had to start tilling the soil to survive. So he had to work hard, right? He had to labor. And Eve was sentenced to painful childbirth, which we also regard as labor. From looking at a different continent, an example we have from the French is their word for work is travail. So Travail, travail. It also happens to be in the name of an instrument of torture. So now work also has to be agony and torment. So, if we take a look at that, we can understand why we don't like work. So we've been conditioned for many, many centuries not to like work. And we also see that work takes away, it dehumanizes people, it makes less of them. In fact, it's now quite understandable why we have so many labor laws, because we have to make sure that all this work doesn't kill us, that it's not dangerous to us, and that it doesn't, continue to be grueling. In fact, it actually tells us that work is devoid of any enjoyment, meaning, and fulfillment. And if you think that's bad, Sisyphus was not only asked to roll the boulder up the hill, but when it slipped, now just remember Sisyphus on the picture is about this big and the boulder is this big, right? We're not talking about a little boulder. Every time Sisyphus let the boulder roll back down, he had to start again, which means that by extension, repetitive, boring, and meaningless work is even worse. So now we understand why even Mark Twain said work is a necessary evil to be avoided. And I wonder how much of that still resonates with us. It's many centuries hence. Many people now can do work without actually doing hard labor because we are more knowledge orientated. And yet we hang on to this, that work is bad, that work is dehumanizing. So I have got two challenges. One, for businesses and leadership out there, is that what your people think you think about their work? And for employees and team members, I want to ask you, is that really all that work is for you? I think that, as you guys know, I'm very fond of finding purpose and meaning in things, as we also saw from Rehumanizing Leadership. Is it time that we make it clear that there's more to work than hard labor. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little insert. I hope you have found it useful and it gets you thinking slightly different about work and hard labor and about those that you set to hard labor around you, maybe giving the kids chores to punish them as opposed to teaching them just good discipline. If you have enjoyed this insert, please, on the page below, please click on like and subscribe if you're seeing us from YouTube. If you're following us on LinkedIn or Facebook, lovely to have you here as well. Please share this post. Comment freely. We love to hear from you. And then head over to YouTube and go and subscribe. And then until the next episode, I look forward to seeing you at the